I want to introduce on this broadcast Mr. Dayasiri Jayasekara, Lankan MP, who is joining us on this broadcast. Good morning, sir. There are a lot of questions about when the leadership change in Sri Lanka will happen. This is being dragged out, and the longer it drags out, the longer we're going to be seeing this kind of protest, this kind of a crisis play out.
That is very true. Yesterday, President has given a word that he's going to resign yesterday, but it didn't happen. Now the crisis is also going on now, and in the meantime, people have come to the roads and asked the Prime Minister, and he's saying that he's so-called acting president, and people are asking to resign from both those posts to give the power to Parliament to elect a president. So that is the situation here. As you said, the dragging the resignation letter, actually crisis is more vulnerable.
Mr. Jayasekara, you know, what we saw play out yesterday on the streets of Colombo with the kind of widespread protests, it's not just against Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa, it's also against Ranil Wickremesinghe. In such a circumstance, do you think it was right for him to take up the role of acting president, or was there no other option really?
Yeah, that is true, because actually these protests are going on against the president and the prime minister both. And that is why we are asking, we are urging him to resign from the prime ministerial portfolio, because in this country we have never heard that there is an acting president, because when the war is going on, there were appointments given to acting defense minister, not the acting president. So it is obvious. That is why we are all are saying, all the people are saying, because this prime minister doesn't have a mandate, because he lost his seat in the 2020 election, and he came on his national list for given to the party. So he doesn't have a mandate, and there is no faith motion for him in Parliament, because he didn't have the power in Parliament, because it is not challenged yet. That is why we are all trying to meet today and try to bring a no confidence motion against the Prime Minister, because in Parliament we can do that. That is today we are meeting all the party leaders and try to bring a no confidence motion against the Prime Minister, and we are asking the Speaker to summon the Parliament.
Okay. I think we've lost that audio with Mr. Jayasekara. We're going to try to reconnect with him. He's made some very important points. As a member of parliament, he's saying that we have the power to go ahead and order a no-trust motion, push for a no-trust motion against the current Prime Minister and the acting president. Mr. Jayasekara, apologies, we lost your connection briefly there for a bit. You know, with all that you're telling us, this uprising that's happening in Colombo is very understandable. The sentiment of the citizens is very understandable. What's the ideal immediate solution here? I completely understand that, you know, as far as this economic crisis is concerned, it's going to take a while for Sri Lanka to at least come out of it. But this political crisis, with citizens, civilians saying very clearly they have no trust in Mr. Rajapaksa or Mr. Wickremesinghe, what's the immediate solution to address that?
That is the solution. That is what we think, because we can't, we don't trust about these protesters coming and taking and grab all the buildings in Sri Lanka. That is not the way of doing this, because as Sri Lankan politicians and elected by the people of this country, only the way is in Parliament we can, what are the things that we can do in Parliament. So that is why we are urging to the Speaker today to summon the Parliament as soon as possible, and as a matter of urgency, we can put a no confidence motion against the Prime Minister. So that is the only way we can see if the Prime Minister doesn't give his resignation. And President also is out at the moment. We don't know where he is, and he's trying to, I think, settle down somewhere.
Yeah.
using his power as the president of Sri Lanka. So it is very sad because the whole country is in a mess. One person is trying his best to settle down somewhere for his namesake.
Hmm.
So that is very unfortunate. So we are trying our best to have a democratic solution for this, not for the other things that we can't do as
Yeah.
parliamentarians. We are only on the constitutional norms.
Agreed. So when do you think things will settle down? You know, as far as these protests and agitations are concerned, do you see it actually kind of dying down in the next few days? I'm sure it also relies largely on what happens in Parliament today.
No, if President or Prime Minister don't give resignation, this protesters will come again, and all the people will come on the roads. So that is why we are asking to settle this matter. Please give your resignation, the President and the Prime Minister, and after that we can go to the Parliament. We can summon the Parliament, and from the Parliament we can elect a person who is suitable for the president post, and after that we can president can appoint a cabinet and the prime minister. So that is the only way forward, because we have a lot of things to do in economic area, because we are in a very crucial situation.
Yeah.
People are in a very desperate situation, and IMF is waiting till the Sri Lankan political arena is settled down. So
Hmm.
we have to do that. So that is why we are urging the President and the Prime Minister to resign.
Mr. Jayasekara, one final question to you. I'd like you to directly address all those who are protesting, all the civilians of Sri Lanka, many of whom I'm sure who are also watching this broadcast, to find out what your message is to them amid this crisis and amid questions about whether politicians, about members of parliament, whether they're doing enough right now to deal with this issue, to address the concerns of civilians.
Yes, that is why we are doing, because that is what we are doing now, because we have also participated for the protest campaigns as well. But only the protest campaigns you can't get solutions, because solutions are on the hands of the representatives of this country. So the parliament is still alive. So we can summon the parliament and discuss with all these party leaders. And yesterday we had a party leaders meeting. And today there is another opposition party leaders meeting today at 9:30. I think we all are coming to get together and give a solution to the people who are on the roads.
Okay, let's hope that very soon we see a solution at least to the political crisis at hand currently in your country. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Mr. Jayasekara, for joining us here on India Today and sharing your views of what's expected next. So you just heard what the Member of Parliament from Sri Lanka said. He's making it very clear that right now parliamentarians are going to come together. Their move is to seek a no-trust motion against Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and then move things forward. They're saying make the Speaker the acting President, so these protests kind of die down.